Hey world, this is Sam and Max, freelance police, an inseparable duo that has been together for over 30 years. What are some of the lesser known facts about them? Let's get into it.
I'm very excited.
Before we start though, a quick disclaimer, since Sam and Max are not historical media, in fact they are cartoon characters, it is unbelievably hard to find facts about them that aren't sourced from Twitter threads or Reddit posts. So evidence for these claims may be a little bit iffy.
What the devil? Surely you jest.
With that out of the way, let's actually get into it. So, Sam and Max. Not a very recognizable title to most these days. Their peak of popularity was likely in the late 80s and 90s, seeing as most of their media was released at that time. According to samandmax.co.uk, the comic series was started in 1987 and ended in 1996. According to IMDb, the animated series entitled The Adventures of Sam and Max Freelance Police ran from 1997 to 1998, and the game Sam and Max Hit the Road was released in 1993. Although, in August of 2024, one of their most impactful games was remastered, so their popularity isn't entirely dead. Another thing I didn't know about the series when I first got into it was how old it was. The characters were first created in the late 70s, but they had an official comic book release in 1987. However, their comics aren't their biggest achievements. Most fans today are fans of their animated series or point-and-click adventure games. IMDb comes in clutch again. Their first game, Sam and Max Hit the Road, was released in 1993 by LucasArts, currently known as Lucasfilm Games. There were 3 main adventure games after that. Sam and Max Save the World in 2007, Sam and Max Beyond Time and Space in 2008, both released by Telltale Games, and Sam and Max The Devil's Playhouse in 2010. The Devil's Playhouse was released by a handful of ex-Telltale developers that called themselves Skunk Ape Games. Fun fact, they named their new company after the main antagonist in The Devil's Playhouse.
Yes.
They also went on to remaster the rest of the trilogy, giving it a much-needed upgrade. There was also a virtual reality game released in 2021 called Sam and Max, This Time It's Virtual.
Max's terrifying head is a universal symbol of something or other.
So, I've noticed a bit of a trend with Max. Whenever I show a friend a photo of Sam and Max, they seem to recognize Max but not Sam. I myself remember getting into Sam and Max because I recognized Max from a piece of fan art I saw once. So, why do people recognize Max more than Sam? It's likely due to his marketable face. His design page from the archives of the animated series, which I grabbed from samandmax.co.uk, shows specific details such as one tooth in the middle of his manic grin, a squarish and less than fluffy tail, and ears placed in a specific alignment. Even with the specific details, his design is relatively simple. He is just a rabbity thing after all. This leads to him being a fan favorite when it comes to making animations or drawings. Another factor of his popularity is the amount of cameos he has had in other medias. While the creator of Sam and Max, Steve Purcell, worked at LucasArts, he tended to add Easter eggs in all sorts of other games. Most, if not all of these Easter eggs, were just conveniently placed Max cameos. He showed up in backgrounds, as textures on objects you aren't supposed to be able to see, and even as a hostile mob in an official Star Wars game. That's not all he shows up in though. A few fans have included their depiction of him in their games even after Purcell stopped working at LucasArts. He even showed up as a plushie in the show Hell of Lost, which is not associated with LucasArts or Telltale at all. Yet another reason that Max is so popular is his roles in the games. While Sam and Max is inherently a comedic series, Max tends to not contribute to the plot at all and just make quips and tell jokes. A comedic relief character, if written properly, is bound to be a fan favorite. This leads to more fan-made content centered around him, making him more recognizable to new fans and outside audiences. His role does change in one game, however, The Devil's Playhouse. He becomes a somewhat playable character and a major plot point. The fact that The Devil's Playhouse was one of the best games in the series adds to this recognizable image. With Max out of the way, let's talk about another character, Darla Guggenheim, or more commonly known as the Geek.
You must be Darla Guggenheim.
Please, my friends call me the Geek.
So who was the Geek? The geek was a character who only existed in the short run of Adventures of Sam and Max. She played the role of the smart one because, let's face it, Sam and Max are kinda dumb. She was added as a network requirement since, according to samandmax.co.uk, Fox Kids needed a third main character to be added to the group. She was also originally envisioned to be a young boy, but the network struck again and told the creators to change one person in the trio to a girl. You know, for ratings. They originally suggested changing Max to a girl, but the creator and the showrunner immediately declined, instead reimagining the geek. Perhaps this whole network debacle was part of why she was never used again afterwards. Steve Purcell himself said that he thinks introducing a new character to a duo can interrupt the flow of everything. Besides, fans' reactions were mixed. Even today, some people want to see her re-implemented into the games, or official art in general, although maybe it's best to leave her in the background where she's been the whole time.
Sam, I think we're being watched.
Judging by the glaring lack of fan mail, I'd beg to differ, little pal.
So, where is the fan base? Well, it's hard to tell. Many fans do exist, but personally, I haven't found many who are into the franchise any further than just the main two characters. This can contribute to more fans not paying attention to the other characters or even completely ignoring the canon media. Another factor that contributes to its lack of popularity could be, again, its age. The media has been around for longer than most of its fans, meaning original fans aren't as chronically online as teenagers are.
All the cool kids are blimp-dingling these days.
It also has a relatively small amount of content compared to other franchises of its age. This means it's not as marketable, which also means it's not advertised outside of a few Blue Sky posts once a year. So yeah, there's a few facts you should know before you get into Sam and Max. They may be old, but they're very important to me, and I hope they can be important to you too. See you later!
ABC,